ഗുഡ് ഈവനിങ് മാറ്റിനി ഫ്രീ വെബിനാറിലേക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. അപ്പോൾ ഇതുപോലെ ഇന്നൊരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ബേസ്ഡ് ആയിട്ട് ക്ലാസ്സാണ്. സൈക്കോളജി ക്ലാസ് എന്ന് പറയാം, ഓർഗനൈസേഷണൽ സ്ട്രക്ചറുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പറയാം, മാനേജ്മെൻറ്റ് കോൺസെപ്റ്റിൽ പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ എനിവേ കണ്ണൻ സാറിൻ്റെ 26ാമത്തെ ക്ലാസ്സാണ്. വളരെ പ്രത്യേകതയുള്ള റിസർച്ച് ഓറിയൻറ്റഡ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഓരോ ടോപ്പിക്കുകളും നമ്മൾ കേൾക്കുമ്പോൾ ഇതൊക്കെ എത്ര ക്ലാരിറ്റിയോടെ നമ്മൾ നമ്മുടെ ലൈഫിൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ടതാണ് എന്ന് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും തോന്നിപ്പോവും. ബയോ E3 പോളിസി, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ക്വാണ്ടം കമ്പ്യൂട്ടിംഗ്, ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള പല വിഷയങ്ങൾ, എല്ലാ വിഷയവും അതിൻ്റെതായ തനതായ റിസർച്ച് ഓറിയൻറ്റഡ് പാറ്റേണിലാണ് സാർ എടുക്കുന്നത്. സോ ഇന്നും തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് എംപ്ലോയീസ് ആൻഡ് ഓർഗനൈസേഷണൽ കൾച്ചർ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഈ ഒരു മൾട്ടി ഡയമെൻഷണൽ ടോപ്പിക്കിനെ കുറിച്ച് കൂടുതൽ വിവരങ്ങൾ നമുക്ക് സാറിൽ നിന്ന് ലഭിക്കും. അപ്പോൾ അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരെയും പ്രോഗ്രാമിലേക്ക് ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. അതോടൊപ്പം പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട കണ്ണൻ സാറിനെയും. കണ്ണൻ സാർ, യു ആർ വെൽക്കം.
Thank you, Sabhu. Thank you very much. You've given one another opportunity for me to discuss with you a new topic. Today's topic is not techno-economic in nature, which I normally handle, but it's a managerial topic, management topic. And this particular aspect is getting more and more attention in large organizations, especially in the days of social media becoming very active. All of us know that social media has got huge speed, huge reach, and it is possible to bring out your information in quick time. Sometimes it is not getting validated. So organizations actually have a challenge that they have to keep the name of the organization protected and project the name of the organization in such a way that their image is actually correctly seen by its clients. It could be public, it could be clients, it could be even clients from abroad. So there's a huge challenge for organization in the recent years when social media has become extremely active and extremely speedy. Now, when I said organization, it is not necessary that only large organizations should be get worried about it. It can be smaller organizations as well, where your employees are your true ambassadors of how work happens within your organization. You can also talk about mindset within families, where the family culture, when you have the mindset common amongst all its members, it's a different type of strength, a different type of projection. It can be for families, it can be for societies, it can be for countries as well. So today we will just see the link between mindset and culture or organization culture. I have said it can be family, it can be society, it can be country, etc. So that is the aim of this discussion today. I have a presentation to make. So with your permission, shall I upload the presentation? Sabu?
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay. Can you see my presentation?
Yes, sir. It's visible. Okay.
Okay, right. So I'm going to speak on mindset of employees and their linkage with organization culture. Now, employees are mostly selected on skill set. In most of the organizations, they select employees based on their ability to do a perform a job, their skill set. And mindset is not assessed, because you can judge mindset only through some psychological test, which some organizations do, or observing the employee over some period of time, which normally organizations call probationary period. That is how Many organizations say you're on probation for 1 year. And during that 1 year, there's a close examination, there's a close observation of your mindset. What is mindset? We'll come to. But that is done by the people in the department. Last century, especially in the second half, organizations have been looking at how to motivate an employee. There are many schemes for motivating employee, and these schemes are a standard sort of discussions in during management topic like Maslow's theory of hierarchy, etc. So now we're not going to discuss that. We're going to say that based on whatever motivation the organization is practicing to an employee, it may be in the form of pay, it may be in the form of other purposes, it may be in the form of holiday packages, whatever be the motivation schemes which the organization is practicing, there is a bearing on the mindset of the employee towards the organization. And sometime in 2010, between 2010 and 15, lot of research and lot of experiments have been done on employees vis-a-vis their motivational schemes, and thus found through brain mapping done on these employees that certain motivational schemes are more appealing to the employee, and there's a different type of response in the brain mapping vis-a-vis some other one. So at the end of the study, which lasted over 4 or 5 years, I will come to the name of the professor who did the study. They found there are two types of mindset. There's a fixed part and there's a variable part. The variable part is called growth mindset. You often refer in discussion, oh, he has got a mindset like this. But actually your meaning is mindset which is fixed and not the variable part. Everyone has got both this, fixed and growth, or fixed and variable. One has got negative features, other has got positive features. So it's important to know in an employee what is the proportion of this fixed and variable, which is more, which is less, is what is more important. And at the hierarchy in the organization, at every level, it could be a supervisory level or a managerial level or a general manager level, you need to look at how you can increase the growth mindset more and more in an employee. That is where the management techniques are focusing on this decade, saying how to get the employee to have a different type of mindset towards the organization. So we're going to discuss this in our subsequent slides. First, I'll finish with the skill set. I've already said this is tested, and those who clear the skill set examination or some test, they are found suitable. And this can be improved upon. The skill set can be improved upon through some more training and practice, etc. And most organizations conduct some in-house training. When a new set of employees come, they have special in-house training, whether they are able to improve many aspects, but skill set is also an aspect. The skill set can be in the form of what you're able to do with your hands, what you're able to do in the laboratory, what you're able to do on the computer, how you're able to write down a particular conclusion of a discussion. So many type of skill sets are given some focus during in-house training. But none of this are done as a substitute for mindset. Mindset, if you want to judge, it has to be a different type of discussion, different type of observation, and mostly over a longer period of time. So mindset of an employee is closely linked to his motivation. Whatever motivation he has from the organization or from the society or from his family, that is linked to mindset. So let us look at a little more in detail. You see these two graphical explanation. The full pyramid is the old Maslow's theory of motivation, starting from basic and safety, etc., etc. We all studied this in our college days. And then subsequently, it was after Professor Maslow identified this five-tier hierarchy in needs of a person, another scientist, behavior scientist, Frederick Herzberg, he grouped it into this into two groups, some as motivation, some as hygiene. So this is very important. But in 2015, an American professor, American psychologist, Carl Dweck, this lady conducted on employees of various organizations brain mapping while discussing their motivational factors. So whenever this experiment was done and during discussions, when you were discussing certain motivational factors, the neural activity in the brain was high, intense, while for something else, it was limited activity. So over a period of time of her study and research, she could identify that this mindset has got two sets of uh, two factors. One is which is having low neural activity when you discuss, and one which is exciting the person to discuss more. What could be exciting? It is not the question of, I'm not saying it is higher pay or some other perks. It could be the challenge in the work. It could be the demand of the organization. It could be the organization saying, only you can do this job. We have a lot of hope that you will be able to do it. You will find an answer to this. So it could be motivation in different ways, and we will discuss as we go along. But Professor Dweck collectively referred this response of the brain to the various motivational factors as mindset. And she identified, as we come to the next slide, we'll see two parts of the mindset. So there's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. Now, fixed mindset, as I told you, is essentially having low neural activity. There's some sort of disinterest in the employee towards that particular motivation level. Something which happened and he has been blamed for the job. The failure happened because of you. That actually creates some sort of dissatisfaction in the employee. The employee feels he's been victimized, and therefore the neural activity which takes place towards the organization gets diminished. All this form a part of fixed mindset. But there are certain other factors which create growth mindset. As I told you some time back, you're the only one who can do this job. We hope you will be able to do it. We have to do it by so and so time. I hope you will be able to pull out and all the energy and complete this job. So Professor Dweck identified fixed mindset, which has got a negative connotation. When you want to avoid a challenge, when an employee wants to avoid it, no, I can't do this. This is not possible by me. I don't have the capability to do it. Or he doesn't want to give a feedback whether he has completed the job when he's asked to do it. He resists the feedback. If there's a failure which has happened, he doesn't talk about it. He keeps quiet and hides the failure. All these are different types of situations where different type of responses from the employee which pertain to fixed mindset. But in a growth mindset, he is ready to take up challenge. If he is doing the job, he responds positively to any feedback which is sought by the management. or by his supervisor. He may have failed once, twice, but doesn't matter. He will say, no, I will make one more attempt. I will try to do it. Then when he succeeds, he is able to share his ideas, how he did it, how somebody else who's facing this similar situation can do it. So there is a positive mindset of that person. That's called growth mindset. And this growth mindset, if you can enhance it in an employee and try to diminish the fixed mindset, then you have a better cohesion in the team. You have a team which is looking forward to take up fresh challenges, which has got a lot of energy, which gets totally committed to the job. And therefore, leadership in the organization, it can be top, middle, or even lower level, they should look at how to create this growth mindset in a employee or in a group of employees. I will show you some examples where this has been done successfully in our country. I will tell you how some recent instances where organizations' leadership has been able to get their employees, their workforce, really come to levels much higher than what they had done before. So let's go forward. So every employee has certain attitudes in his mind, but the leadership tries to create a common culture amongst all employees, which is an integration of their attitudes and also how these are being slowly modified over a period of time. Let me examine this a little more. So every employee has got attitude, and from attitude, his beliefs are set. No, I don't think I can do this. This is not possible by me. It is, I don't agree with this type of, this approach to solve this problem. So he comes to certain beliefs because he has got a fixed belief in his mind. He has got certain attitudes which converge into his beliefs. Now, from beliefs come his assumption. He thinks, yeah, no, it cannot be done. Even nobody can do it in this organization. He even makes statements like that. So from beliefs, it comes to assumption. And this reflects in his behavior. His behavior, one-on-one behavior or a behavior in a group, he will voice these aspects. And you can make out he has a different type of belief in his mind. That is why he is behaving that manner. And when all the employees' behavior are put together, it becomes a culture. Now, you all have experience of dealing with different types of organizations. It could be railways, it could be electricity board, it could be a police station, it could be even post office, it could be municipal corporation, so many government organizations. You can also look at private organizations which respond to whatever repair or service which you want for a domestic appliance or the car servicing station. You deal with different type of people. And you have noticed that the employees with whom you interact, you're not interacting with all the employees in the organization, but the organization takes pains to put people with positive mindset to deal with customers. There are many more employees in the organization. You don't deal with them. You don't come to know of them, but they could be away from your interaction space. So how does the company look at this? How does the company decide this? They look at their employees and they say, I think this man has got more positive mindset. He should be the person to deal with customers. He is very polite, he is very courteous, he listens to them, he understands, and his communication skills are good. While he may be not the average of the mindset of the organization. There could be many people in the organization who are away from your contact, who are having more of fixed mindset and less of growth mindset. But the culture is an integration of all the employees put together. So when you say electricity board, oh no, that is your belief that electricity board is always like this, but they need not be. But that is a belief you come to based on your experience of dealing with some employee there, or some even the best employee who's doing customer relationship is not satisfying you. But when you go to a post office, it could be, the experience could be different. When you go to a hospital, government hospital, it could be one type of reaction. When you go to a private hospital, there could be some other aspect. There could be many reasons, there could be many motives. But the fact is, the culture in the organization is an integration of the mindsets of all employees. Culture actually controls the mindset. Now, in this circle, it is possible for leaders to slowly improve the mindset by tackling attitudes, beliefs, etc., and change the culture, improve the mindset. It is time taking, but organizations make sure that assistant managers and supervisors who are dealing with the employees are correcting their attitudes. They advise them and counsel them and make sure that the organization's work culture is enriched better, not only for efficiency point of view, but also from interaction with its customers. Every organization has got a customer. So they put in efforts to make sure that the culture is getting refined and refined through efforts in this. So what are those efforts? We'll have a look. So you look at this picture. It's a tree. One half is green and the other half is absolutely dry and brown. I have created this like a mindset, 50% fixed and 50% growth. If you can make sure that the green is expanding to the left side and the brown side is reducing, then you are able to enhance the mindset and also improve the culture. So how does managers do? First is they try to influence the attitudes amongst the employees which are not productive. So they advise them, they counsel them, and they put them through some more training if required. The skill set is not adequate, because attitude can also come because of poor skill set. So they look at that and they try to influence the attitude. They inculcate discipline regarding time, regarding hygiene, regarding safety. So when I say hygiene, I meant work hygiene. That means you are working in a place and how neat you're keeping that place while you're working there, how safely you're keeping the tools, how safely you're giving the samples. There's no spillage, everything is neat and clean. That's what I meant. So you can look at safety, how safe are their work processes, inculcate some discipline, and slowly infuse confidence in the employee. Increase his resilience. That means, okay, I'm not successful first time when I tried to do this machining, I'm not successful. Let me try it once again. Let me make sure that I do a better job and become successful. Slowly you empower that worker to not only undertake similar tasks, but also guide others. He may have a better way of doing it, inspire innovation, imbibe a culture, and instill pride in the organization where he is working. So I have identified 8 things a manager can do. And I called 8 I's because all the steps are starting with the alphabet I, which a manager can practice, a supervisor can practice, and the top management can also practice to make sure every employee has got a pride in the organization. I'm showing this photograph. Can anybody tell me who are these 2 girls? Anyone?
Sailors after Abhilash Tommy.
No, this is not Abhilash Tomi. I've written the name down there. Rupa and Dilna. These are 2 girls, 2 young women.
Kayaking girls.
Sorry.
Kayaking.
So
Kayaking.
I will give. When I see their photograph, what do you feel? Okay, there are 2 Indian girls. They're out at sea. You can make out. They are going around the world, circumnavigation of the whole world in a boat. Many people, when they see their photograph and knowing they are 2 young women from India who are undertaking this task, only 2 of them going around alone, not alone, 2 of them as a team, it's a huge adventure. We feel proud of this. Some part in your brain has got that positive mindset attitude coming. When you see this photograph, I just want to only highlight that when you see someone who has brought fame, who has made your country proud, there's a feeling in you. Oh, good. These are very energetic, very excellent work which they are doing. Okay. Can you recognize this photo? Anyone? Can anybody recognize this photo? It's not very old. Last year. Sabu, can you recognize?
No, sir, it's a cricket
No.
event.
This is India's 4x400 relay team, which managed to enter the finals for the first time in Olympics. For the first time in Olympics, India's 4x400 relay team, Paris Olympics, they entered finals. So many sports lovers, when they see this photograph, they feel very proud of the performance of this relay team. And if you're from Kerala, you will see the rightmost person and the second person from the left are both Keralites who have done proud to the state by being a part of India's relay team of 4x400. So if somebody is doing my brain mapping at this point of time, and this photo is shown to me, there'll be some positive neural activity, and which says, yes, there is a sense of belonging, a sense of pride coming into my brain when I see that these 4 men has represented the country and brought fame to us. Okay, I'll show you one more. I have written there, it's very clear, Somali pirates to surrender. Okay, but I will tell you a little more on this. These 5 Navy people, or it's not 5, it is perhaps 7 Navy people, they're called Marine Commandos. They were dropped from a transport plane called C-17, 2,600 miles away from India into the sea. 2,600 miles away from India, they jumped, all of them jumped from the Air Force transport plane into the sea, along with their boat, rubber boat, which is folded and kept. So they all fell into the sea. They opened up their boat. They got into the boat, and was done early morning when the alertness of a crew, in this case, crew of that pirate ship, are normally slack. So early morning, they embarked the ship and did an operation to make all the Somali pirates surrender. In 4 hours' time, they completed this job of getting dropped, getting into a boat, going to that ship, embarking the ship, overpowering everybody else. The Somali pirates had taken over another merchant ship of another country, and they overcame that and they were able to do it. Look at the 7 people who decided to do this. This is the first time in India that a group of Marine commandos have been dropped from the sky into water, along with their boat and weapons, etc., etc. And communication said that. And then they got the boat opened, embarked it, and overpowered a ship which was being taken away by pirates. Because it was a request to Indian government, can you do something about it? And they said, we'll try, we'll do. And it was a great action which was done by these Marine commandos. And many of us who know more about this operation, when you see this picture, you feel very proud. I've already written the name there, so it's very clear. Many people find seeing Prabhu's and Gukesh's photograph, when they see it and when they read about this, how these youngsters have become grandmasters in chess at the world level, brings a lot of positive neuron activity in your brain. You don't realize it, but that is what the studies done by Professor Dweck reveals, that when you see something which triggers pride in you, which triggers happiness about that association, what is common between Pragho, Gukesh, and you and me is only that they are from this country. We don't know him. Of course, he could be from your state as well, but more importantly, he is from India. So it brings in a lot of pride into you without you realizing that your brain has started working in some manner. Let's look at some more aspects where the mindset can get created. This is Chandrayaan failure in September 19, and this is Chandrayaan 3 success in August 23. Many of us would have seen both these issues live. I had seen on both cases it live on the TV. What was happening in space, we could see it on our TV. And one felt really bad in 2019 when Chandrayaan 2 was unable to make a landing which was soft, almost crash landed on moon and broke, and its mission had to be aborted at that point of time. But the ISRO team, the ISRO leadership had so much of resilience. They decided to overcome this by improving the design, by making some changes in the hardware. And 4 years later, they were able to again fly towards the moon, and Chandrayaan 3 success, we all saw it. So this is the result of a positive mindset being created in the group which is working on this. Of course, it's not only the group which is engaged, the whole organization of ISRO or VSS is involved. But amongst that, there was a group which was totally working only on this project. I remember after Chandrayaan 3 success, there was a photograph which came on social media of 5 people, 3 women and 2 men, all engineers. Okay, all engineers from India. No, all engineers from College of Engineering, Trivandrum. So when I saw that, I was so happy, saying, here's my college. So many years later, 50 years later, they have been able to contribute in such a national mission. I was also an engineer from the same college 50 years back. Of course, I didn't get the opportunity to do all this, but here they got the opportunity and they executed it. Perhaps they failed the first time, but they succeeded second time. So the leadership which is there on Chandrayaan projects have ensured not to dampen the spirits of the scientific team or the engineering team, but they made sure they could overcome the failure and uh, complete the mission successfully, much to the uh, happiness of the entire country, and even internationally, it was received with a lot of positive comments. Recently, in December 24, and of course, it stepped into 1st of January as well, the ISRO have been able to dock means join, dock two satellites together. I don't know how many of you closely followed this mission. SpaceX docking. First time they came to dock, they could not dock. They realized they couldn't dock, so they pulled back. One pulled away and one slowed down. Then after some time they docked, tried to dock again. It was better. All this was happening in space. And the fourth attempt, they were able to dock the two satellites together. Why two satellites docking is such an important issue? I'm sure many of you know, but I will share with you for benefit of others. If you're able to dock a flying object in space with another object which is also in the orbit, then tomorrow you will be able to send a spacecraft and dock to an space station. There's already space stations there. You know how space stations which are there, where American astronauts are presently waiting to come back to Earth because it's got delayed because of some technical problem. But India will be able to dock a vehicle which is going from here, a spacecraft, and dock to a station when they create it. Initially, they may dock with a foreign country station. There are already some international agreement on that. And later, India will create a international space station, Indian station, and they'll be able to do it, which is very important for the progress of science and technology. So this was live, which was attempted 4 times they attempted. And the 4th time, they could get the docking correctly. They did not give up hope. The leadership in the team, in that organization, made sure they are able to overcome whatever flaws or failures which were there in the initial attempts. Made us, Indians became very proud after seeing this, because we are the 4th country to do it, after having seen dockings of Russia, US, China, etc. earlier. Let me show you another one. There is a national millet mission which was started about 4 or 5 years back. The government wanted Indian citizens to accept millet as a substitute for wheat and rice. You know, rice is very popular in South India, wheat is more popular in North India. And millet has not been popular. Millet had a stigma. It was associated with low income group for many, many years. It was seen as a staple food which farm laborers and other laborers survived on. There are different types of millets. You can see in the photograph, there are different types of millets, but some are called very popular bajra, ragi, jowar, etc. Government wants millet to be accepted for two reasons. Two reasons. And they're trying to get Indian citizenry educated. First, its nutritive content is better, good for especially giving young children the nutrition part of it. Why so? Because in the last 5-6 years, a large percentage of our country have been getting free ration, free food, which was mostly some dal, some rice, some wheat, etc. So if millets are added to that, which perhaps the citizen can buy to start with, then the nutrition is taken care of. Because there has been a problem over the years that low income groups, after having been eating only less nutritive cereals like rice and wheat, the children were having stunted growth. To overcome that, nutrition was required to be infused into their meals. One of the ways is substitute rice and wheat by millet. So nutrition is taken care of. Second, most important to India, 1 kilo of rice requires 2,500 liters of water. It can be groundwater or it can be water from the river, while wheat requires 1,700 liters. But millet requires only 900 liters. We have a huge water shortage in India. We are moving from water shortage to water scarcity. So we want to make sure our villages don't suffer because they don't have access to water. One way of reducing our water consumption just to produce rice and to produce wheat is produce millets. Millets will bring nutrition and take less water. So what the government has done, you would have noticed, you go to a supermarket, there are so many types of branded items which are coming from with millets, millet cereals, millets, cornflakes, millet, some types of meat, snacks. All these are coming out of millets, which was not there in the supermarket shelves 2 years back. Different types of products are coming into the market so that the citizens can ensure that just like rice and wheat, you are buying the bare cereal as well as various snacks, etc., based on rice and wheat. Now you can buy of millets also. India grows 40% of world production of millets here. And millets are popular in Africa. As I told you, poor countries have been surviving on millets. And countries which have less water also been surviving on millets because they require less water. But there is a drive by the government at the national level to bring millets regularly onto your dining table because of the advantages of what I told you, nutrition and water. You have to change the mindset of the citizens. It is no more a poor man's cereal. It's not a poor man's grain. It is for everyone in this country. So the mindset changing of the citizens towards millet is happening in many ways. More millets are being produced through PLI scheme. Farmers are being given more incentive to produce millets. Don't produce wheat and rice, come out of it, produce millets, consume less water. New items are coming of millet products are coming in the supermarkets. There is millets being introduced in schools, in their midday meals. So slowly, the mindset of citizen is changing from seeing it as not appropriate to income level, but it is something which everybody can gladly have in their basket of grains. Now, at the moment, there's one more aspect that I would like to see. You notice our government, our prime minister downwards, everybody has been saying India will become a developed nation by 2047. That is what we are working towards it. Today we are $3.7 trillion at GDP. It has become 30 trillion, almost 8 times more in the next 22 years. There has to be more jobs. Development index has to become higher. More women should get employment, empowerment. It should be women-led development. 50% of India's population is any women. So we have to make sure this. And so on, so many. So if you look at all the schemes of the government, is to make sure the citizen is constantly reminded of how the journey from now to 2047 to a developed nation can be achieved if everyone pulls in the same direction. If every government within the country, be it state government, panchayat, central government, whatever it is, they do functions, they administer, their governance are all in the direction towards enhancing GDP, women empowerment, increase employment. It's not easy, but they had to move in that direction. You have to change the mindset of the citizens that you can become a developed nation by 2047. So mindset changing is not just confined to one small organization or a MSME or an entrepreneur or a family. It can be wide as society, as wide as a country. It can be even as wide as a world, as I will show you the next slide. So mindset and global functioning. Let's look at it. Climate action. Every country in this world is facing disaster. They're having one after the other. Some are having more, some are having less. And it has come to a conclusion that you have to give away fossil fuel and go to cleaner and greener energy. That is the energy transition which is required. Everybody accepts that. And that is the action to be done by every country, every government, every state, etc. You have to transit from fossil fuel to clean and green energy. Of course, many actions need to be taken. But this clean, green energy, which includes renewable energy, requires minerals. You require different types of minerals for making the equipment which are supporting this energy transition. And these minerals are available only on the seabed. Seabed minerals are lying in your EEZ, but ISBA, that is International Seabed Authority, is not allowing mining. He says, no, you can't do mining. You want to take it for energy transition, for fighting climate reversals which you had, but ISBA says, no, you can't mine now. You can do some research and development, but not now. Why? Because there can be damage to marine ecosystems. There can be noise of machines operating under the sea, which will disturb marine life. There'll be more light there when it is working, which will disturb marine life. There can be discharges after washing the minerals, which will affect the various fauna and flora in the seabed. You may release dark oxygen. That means oxygen being released without light associated with it. So all these are negative aspects. And there is a mindset amongst countries. About 25 countries are saying, no, no mining. I've given the names of important countries which are opposing it: UK, Germany, Canada, France, Brazil, etc. They said, no mining. Don't do all this. While 150 countries plus saying, no, we should do the mining. Unless you take away the minerals from there, we cannot fight the climate change. So there is a huge mindset issue. We have to get everybody to think alike, everybody to see. It is not just by voting. You say, okay, you are minority, therefore you have lost your vote. No, we have to get everybody to think. So lots of meeting, discussion, how you can minimize the damage to marine ecosystem. They are all being discussed, and scientists are finalizing. I'm happy Miriam is here. She's one of the scientists who's working on this in India. And they're trying to find a solution, what all they can do, what they should not do, and how we can get sea mining done to get the minerals which are most important, which are required. Now, this change of mindset, getting people to think more, accepting it as a challenge, accepting as a requirement of humanity to fight the climate change, you require mindsets to be changed. Mindsets are applicable. Change of mindsets are applicable even in global issues. Many years back, when we had the Cold War, people had fought the mindset at that time and say, no first use of nuclear weapon. We will not use nuclear weapon, but we will keep it in our stock. That was what was there in end 80s, early 90s. No use of nuclear weapons. Issue was they discuss and find methods by which this will remain as only a last resort and we will not use it. But I don't agree with you. We may be on two sides. Similarly, there is a mindset problem now on sea mining, which has to be overcome by ISBA. And we hope by end of this year that approval will come and India will be able to launch. India is actually waiting to commence the sea mining sometime by end of this year. So with this, I would like to say why the struggle to change mindset is becoming difficult. Earlier, exchange of information, exchange of opinion, your beliefs, your attitudes, whatever you're saying was not getting transmitted so fast. But after digital media has come, you find there is instant connectivity. There's access to so much of information. ChatGPT will tell you 5 pages on why sea mining should not be done, and you will believe every word of it. There could be fake news, and you will take a position without being fully informed about the situation. So leadership has to fight against not only changing the mindset, but also overcoming the adverse impact of social media on fixed mindset. Media is quickly enabling fixed mindset to form because half-truths are mentioned. Full situation is not given. So you say, oh, this is what it says, so it is not good. You jump into conclusions. Now, that is something which is worrying for leaders all over the world, be it in a country, be it in a state, be it in a political party, be it in an organization. You're all the time on the guard to make sure your culture, established culture, is not diluted by social media, attack on social media. Whoever is attacking it, doesn't matter who's attacking it, but negative criticism, sometimes not fully justified, comes on the social media. So we are all facing it. You're facing it in your family, you're facing it in your organization. Bigger leaders are facing it in their span of control over the country or the world. So this is something which you have to worry. And on top of it, you got analytical capability by artificial intelligence coming in a big empowered way, which one is not sure whether everything which artificial intelligence concludes is the correct way. The validation of the conclusion of artificial intelligence is not there still in our life. It is an experiment. It is showing some success, but the results are not validated or vetted. So there's some time before we can use or believe the social media and artificial intelligence results fully. We will have to slow down this adverse impact, which at the moment is showing in a bigger way and eroding on mindsets of organizations, on their well-established culture. So there is a link between mindset and culture. Countries, organizations have taken years and decades to improve their clientele, mindset of their clientele, to show a bigger culture. You go abroad, you go to Europe, see how the citizens there maintain their place. It has taken them perhaps more than a century to make sure that they are very, very aware of what a citizen should do to make sure that place remains neat and clean. I'm talking only of cleanliness at this point of time, which is not so much in our country. Swachh Bharat may have started it, but it is not fully bloom, give the results like what is happening in somewhere in the West. When you go to West, you realize, oh, it is all so good. It is the result of citizens' mindset being changed by the governance there of decades and decades. So it's important for us to understand mindsets will be there. Some are negative, some are positive. You have to make sure the positive one is made bigger and the negative one is made smaller by improving the culture in your organization. And that only the leadership can do. With this, I come to conclusions. I told you skill set is important, but mindset which is invisible to you, which you cannot see clearly, which is behind every face of every employee's face in his brain, is an important parameter. And the last 10 years, it has become an important aspect. And it has got challenged because of social media, which is happening. I told you about fixed and growth mindset. So leadership in an organization has to address this. It can be at state level, it can be at national level, it can be even at global level, where national missions are understood, supported, deliberated, discussed with an open mind to make sure what is good for the organization, what's good for the country is made to the citizens. The citizens are made to understand that this is the correct state. So we all have got responsibilities on this to make sure mindset and culture are, which go hand in hand, are improved in our country, in our society. And as far as social media is concerned, at this point of time, I think it has got an adverse impact on change you can make in mindset. There's a challenge to it. I suppose it will improve with time and our leaders will be able to overcome the negative aspects of AI and social media on bringing a better culture in your workplace, in your society, in your country, which will make you all very proud. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. With this, Jai Hind, and I'm open to any questions. Thank you. I'm stopping the sharing of this presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Organizational culture, or the mindset, connection. ഒരു ഗ്രോത്ത് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റിലേക്ക് ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ ഏതൊക്കെ ഫാക്ടേഴ്സാണ്, പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നമ്മുടെ സോഷ്യൽ മീഡിയ ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ AI-യുടെ ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ് എല്ലാം ബേസ് ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു ഗ്രോത്ത് മൈൻഡ്, അത് ഗ്ലോബൽ മാത്രമല്ല നാഷണൽ ലെവൽ ഗ്ലോബൽ ലെവലിൽ ഒരു ഗ്രോത്ത് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റിലേക്ക് എങ്ങനെ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യാം, എൻ്റെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് ഫാക്ടേഴ്സ്, ഇൻഫ്ലുവൻസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫാക്ടേഴ്സ് എല്ലാം വളരെ കൃത്യമായിട്ട് സർ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്തു. താങ്ക് യു സർ, താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്. എന്തെങ്കിലും സംശയങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ചോദിക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, മനോജ് സർ, കെൻ യു സ്റ്റാർട്ട്?
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
I was closely watching and observing the topic today. One of the best topics recently heard, actually speaking. Test upon the this it's a very important step of the mindset actually. ചെറിയ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ ആണ്, വലിയ ഓർഗനൈസേഷൻ ഒക്കെ ആണെങ്കിലും ഈ മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ഇല്ലാത്ത, അങ്ങനെ കൾച്ചർ ഇല്ലാത്ത ഓർഗനൈസേഷനിലൊക്കെ ഒരുപാട് അതിന്റെ ഡ്രോബാക്സ് കാണാം. സോ വെറിൻ people got together and done something in a big way, they proved, you have shown many examples how these were happening, so that is the thing which we needed actually, starting from small organizations to the governments. The whole world is actually have to have this kind of mindset. Yeah, I agree with all your points. And മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ഉള്ള ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഓർഗനൈസേഷനിൽ ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ ഓർഗനൈസേഷനൊക്കെ വർക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. നൗ as you are correctly saying, the trend is changing wherein people are more focusing on how to change the mindset of the employees. ഒരുപാട് ഓർഗനൈസേഷനിൽ അത് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. They are taking care about employees, how to build up, especially the team work, അതൊക്കെ കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നുണ്ട്. നമ്മുടെ ഇന്ത്യയിലും സ്ലോലി എൻ്റെ ഇപ്പോൾ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ മാതിരി slowly coming up, then the results are very positive. But always a paradigm shift, how to bring together the people, to have a common mindset. It will take time, as you were, correctly mentioning. It may take decades, for some cases. But in some cases, if people have a will to do, one thing I have noticed, sir, paranya cleanliness in the area, okay, especially in Europe countries, in developed countries. Of course, their awareness is, very high. And they themselves are taking it. Nobody is there to guide them or advise them how to do it, what to do it. They have a high level of consciousness, and അത് തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ഉണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അവിടെയൊക്കെ പ്രോഗ്രസ്സും നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. So we'll also hope that our country is also coming to that stage by the year, maybe as you were mentioning about 2047. There's a long way to go. So let us hope that this will also happening in our country, so that people will have more awareness on this particular point. അത് ഓർഗനൈസേഷനിൽ കൂടെ വരണം. പല ഓർഗനൈസേഷനിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഉണ്ട്. I don't know in governmental level how much they're successful, but in private organizations, this kind of high level training, especially when they're selecting the people itself. For example, I have gone through a test. I have employed for some of the countries in the Gulf countries. So I was gone for a psychometric test. In three cases, they do the psychometric test. They will test what kind of a person you are. If you are failed in psychometric test, you are out. They will learn, even though if you are having educational qualifications, experience, whatsoever. But if you fail in the psychometric test, you are out. So that is happening. I think around 10-15 years back in the Gulf countries, some of the the corporate countries, they started it. So in one test I have failed actually. That was a golden opportunity to getting a good position, but I failed in the psychometric test. When they tested the mindset, it's only only set of questions you have to answer yes or no. That's all. It's very you need to have a skill to attempt it. You have to be very smart also. Otherwise, you cannot pass. So, sir പറഞ്ഞു ശരിയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ പല കമ്പനികൾ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. So, psychometrically or psychologically, the the HR personnel, they are testing how this employee will give an added value. അതുകൊണ്ട് So നമ്മുടെ ഇപ്പോൾ HR persons ഒക്കെ ഇവിടെ കാണുമായിരിക്കും. So they should also understand it, to get the right people on board makes the organization, for a better growth. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് ഇതൊക്കെ വളരെ യൂസ്ഫുൾ ആയിരുന്നു സാർ. Your class was so elaborative and
Yeah.
has given, more inputs and, more insights, I would rather say. So there are a lot of insights so that we all have to look into on a, the wider angle so that we can all implement wherever we are working, and we can, work as an example by, in our organization itself. Thank you very much, sir. That's all from my side.
Manoj, thank you very much. I just want to say the takeaway from the talk for people is 25 years back, we used to say motivation. Concentrate on motivating an employee. Today, that has got changed to creating positive mindset. The brain mapping test, like you said, psychometry test, which I've done, realized that every motivation has got certain limit to which it can bring out the best of the employee. But now they are identified as fixed and growth mindset, and how you can look at enhancing the growth mindset. And that is where the leadership challenge comes. Okay, I talked about it, but I just wanted to take away is mindset is a new word in management now, world over. So let's go to any other question.
Learn, sir, please.
വളരെ അനുഭവവേദ്യമായ ഒരു അറിവിന്റെ വെളിച്ചം നമുക്ക് സാർ തരികയാണ് ചെയ്തത്. സാധാരണ പോസിറ്റീവ് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ്, നെഗറ്റീവ് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ്, അതൊരു ചെറിയ ലിമിറ്റിൽ നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് സംസാരിച്ച് പലരും മുന്നോട്ട് പോയിരിക്കുകയാണ്. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ സാറ് ചെയ്തത് അതിന്റെ എക്സാക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് കുറെ എക്സാമ്പിൾസ് നമുക്ക് തന്നുകൊണ്ട് എന്താണ് ആ ഗ്രോത്ത് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ്, എന്താണ് ഫിക്സഡ് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് എന്ന് സൊസൈറ്റിക്ക് അകത്ത്, രാഷ്ട്രത്തിനകത്ത്, വേൾഡിനകത്ത് എങ്ങനെ അത് ഡെവലപ്പ് ചെയ്തു എന്ന് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് സാറ് പറഞ്ഞതെന്ന് അതിന് ഒത്തിരി നന്ദിയുണ്ട്. എനിക്ക് സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ ആ കാര്യത്തിനോട് കൂടെ ഒരു കാര്യം ആഡ് ചെയ്യാനുണ്ട്. ഇതിൽ ചെറിയ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഞാൻ മറന്നതാണ്. എങ്കിലും സതീഷ് ധവാൻ ISROയുടെ ചെയർമാൻ ആയിരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഒരു സ്പേസ് ഷട്ടിൽ വിട്ടു സ്പേസിലേക്ക്. പക്ഷെ കോടികൾ ചെലവുള്ള ആ പരീക്ഷണം പരാജയപ്പെട്ടു. അന്ന് പത്രക്കാർ പറഞ്ഞു, പട്ടിണി പാവങ്ങളെ കൊള്ളയടിക്കുകയാണ് ചെയ്തത്. ഇന്ത്യ എന്ന ദരിദ്ര രാജ്യത്തെ കൊള്ളയടിക്കുന്ന അവസ്ഥയാണ് ഉണ്ടായത്. പത്രക്കാർ ഞെക്കി പിഴിഞ്ഞുകളഞ്ഞു. അവിടെ സതീഷ് ധവാൻ പരാജയം സ്വയം ഏറ്റെടുക്കുകയും എന്നിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു, അടുത്ത 3 വർഷത്തിനകം ഞങ്ങൾ, അദ്ദേഹത്തിന്റെ പേരല്ല പറഞ്ഞത്, ഞങ്ങൾ ഈ മിഷൻ വീണ്ടും നടത്തും, അതിവിജയപ്രദമാകും. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ അഭിപ്രായങ്ങൾ മാറ്റിയെങ്കിലും പറയാൻ മനസ്സുണ്ടാവണമേ എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത്. അതുപോലെ തന്നെ സംഭവിച്ചു. ആഫ്റ്റർ 3 years, എനിക്ക് ആ പരീക്ഷണത്തിന്റെ പേരെനിക്ക് ഓർമ്മ, ഇപ്പൊ ചന്ദ്രയാൻ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ എന്തോ ഒരു പേരായിരുന്നു, എനിക്കത് ഓർമ്മയില്ല. ആഫ്റ്റർ 3 years he has completed. അയച്ചു, 100% വിജയമായിരുന്നു. ഈ പോസിറ്റീവ് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ഉള്ള അദ്ദേഹം തൻ്റെ കൂടെയുള്ളവരോട് ആ വിജയം കൈവന്നപ്പോ പറഞ്ഞു, പഴയ പ്രസ്സുകാർ ഇപ്പൊ വരും മീറ്റിന് വേണ്ടി, ഞാൻ പതുക്കെ മാറി നിൽക്കുന്നു, നിങ്ങൾ വേണം അത് കണ്ടക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ, ഞാൻ പുറകിലുണ്ട്, ഡോണ്ട് വറി, ഐ വിൽ വിത്ത് യു. സാർ, അതിൽ കൂടുതൽ ഒരു പോസിറ്റീവ് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് എവിടെ കിട്ടും? താങ്ക് യു സർ. താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്.
താങ്ക് യു. സാബു,
യദുമാർ സർ, അമന മാം, ശുദ്ധോദനൻ ഡോക്ടർ കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? നമ്മൾ ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ഒരു വിഷയമാണ് പോസിറ്റീവ് മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ്. അമന മാം പറയും.
താങ്ക് യു സർ. നല്ലൊരു, എന്താ പറയുക, കുറച്ചു നേരം അനങ്ങാതിരുന്ന് കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റി. കേട്ടതെല്ലാം മനസ്സിലാവുകയും ചെയ്തു. നന്നായിട്ട് സാറ് കൺവേ ചെയ്തു. PPTയെക്കാളും സാറിൻ്റെ കൺവേയിങ് വളരെ ലെജിബിളായിരുന്നു. നന്നായിരുന്നു. പിന്നെ ഒരു എന്താ പറയുക, പൗരബോധമുള്ള മനുഷ്യർ ഇല്ലാത്ത ഒരവസ്ഥയുണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ. പിന്നെ ഒരു എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഏറ്റവും ഗതികേടുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യം, ഇവിടെ പറയേണ്ടതാണോ എന്നറിയത്തില്ല, നമുക്ക് ഒരു ഫുഡ് ഐറ്റംസ് നമുക്ക് ധൈര്യമായിട്ട് വാങ്ങിക്കഴിക്കാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഒരവസ്ഥയുണ്ട്. ഏതും എത്ര വേണമെങ്കിലും പെസ്റ്റിസൈഡ്സ് ചേർത്ത് നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ വിൽക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിലാണ് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഉള്ളത്. അതേസമയം അന്യരാജ്യത്ത് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ മറ്റുള്ള രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ, ജർമ്മനി, അമേരിക്ക ഒന്നും അങ്ങനെ സമ്മതിക്കുന്നില്ല. അങ്ങനെ ചേർത്താൽ അതൊരു വലിയ ക്രൈമായിട്ട് കണക്കാക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ അതൊന്നും നടക്കുന്നില്ല. പിന്നെ ഡ്രഗ്സ്, ഒരു മിനിമം ഡ്രഗ്സ് കയ്യിൽ വെക്കാം. എത്ര കയ്യിൽ കിട്ടിയാലും ആ മിനിമത്തിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് പോലീസുകാരോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആരാന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അവർക്ക് ശിക്ഷയില്ലാത്ത രീതിയിൽ അവരെ പുറത്തേക്ക് വിടുന്നുമുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ വരുന്ന ഈ സാധാരണ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ അതൊന്ന് കൈകാര്യം ചെയ്യാൻ ഗവൺമെന്റിന് പറ്റാത്തതിൻ്റെ ഒരു സങ്കടമുണ്ട്. സാർ പറഞ്ഞതൊക്കെ വലിയ വലിയ കാര്യങ്ങളാണ്. മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റാണ് വേണ്ടിയത്. നമ്മൾ ഒരു പെസ്റ്റിസൈഡ് ചേർത്ത ഭക്ഷണം നമ്മൾ പുറത്തേക്ക് ആർക്കെങ്കിലും കൊടുക്കാൻ നമുക്ക് നല്ല ധൈര്യമാണ്. നമ്മൾ പെസ്റ്റിസൈഡ്, ഒരു സാറ് വാഴക്കൊല വിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ സാറിനോട് ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു, നിങ്ങൾ കഴിക്കാൻ എടുക്കുമെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു. അപ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് കഴിക്കാൻ ഞങ്ങൾ വേറെ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നു, വിൽക്കാൻ വേറെ ഉണ്ടാക്കുന്നു. വളരെ മുമ്പെയാണ്, എത്രയോ വർഷം മുമ്പെയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ആവുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ കിണറ്റിലേക്ക് ഇങ്ങേരുടെ പറമ്പിൽ ഈ വിഷം ഇടുമ്പോൾ അത് അയാളുടെ കിണറ്റിലോട്ട് എത്തുന്നുണ്ടെന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കാനുള്ള ബോധം അയാൾക്കില്ലായിരുന്നു. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ ഒത്തിരി നമുക്ക് തന്നെ ഇത് ബൂമറാങ്ങായിട്ട് വരുന്ന ഒരവസ്ഥ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കുന്നില്ല, മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് ഇല്ല. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെയുള്ള സാധാരണ കുറേ മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ്, നല്ല മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ്, പൗരബോധം, ഒരു നിയമങ്ങൾ അനുസരിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു സന്നദ്ധത, അപ്പം കുറ്റങ്ങൾക്ക് ശിക്ഷ, ഇതൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് വന്നാൽ തന്നെ നമ്മുടെ നാട്, സാറ് പറഞ്ഞു, സാറ് ഒത്തിരി നല്ല കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തവരെ പറ്റി പ്രൗഡാകുന്ന കണ്ടപ്പോൾ എനിക്കും ഭയങ്കര തോന്നി. കാരണം ചെറുപ്പം 1-ാം ക്ലാസ് മുതൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ 1-ാം ക്ലാസ്സിന് മുമ്പേ മുതൽ ഈ ആഗസ്റ്റ് 15-നൊക്കെ ജാഥ വലിയ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് വിളിച്ചു പറഞ്ഞ് ഞങ്ങൾ ജാഥ നടത്തുമായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ ഒരിടക്കാലത്ത് ആ ജാഥയൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇല്ലാണ്ടായി. അപ്പം ഞാൻ ടീച്ചറാകുമ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് അധികാരമില്ല. ഹെഡ് മാഷായപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ ആ ജാഥയൊക്കെ അങ്ങ് നടത്തി. ആ ഹെഡ് മാഷായിടത്തൊക്കെ ടൗണിൽ കൂടെ പിള്ളേരെയും കൂട്ടി ആഗസ്റ്റ് 15-നൊക്കെ ജാഥ പോയി. ഇപ്പൊ കുറേശ്ശെയൊക്കെ തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ടെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നു. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റ് നമുക്കൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. പക്ഷെ അതൊന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഒത്തിരി കാണുമ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊക്കെ ഉൾവലിയേണ്ട ഒരു അവസ്ഥയിലാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ ഉള്ളത്. താങ്ക് യു സാർ. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ പരാതികളൊന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതേ ഉള്ളൂ. സാറിന്റെ ക്ലാസ് ഒത്തിരി
പറഞ്ഞത് വളരെ ശരിയാണ്. അതാ പറഞ്ഞത്, ഈ കൾച്ചർ, സൊസൈറ്റിയിലുള്ള കൾച്ചർ, be it for cleanliness, be it for growing vegetables with minimum use of pesticide, be it for reducing pollution. ഇതൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ തന്നെത്താനെ പ്രാക്ടീസ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ്. അത് പിടിക്കാനും അത് നടത്താനും ഒക്കെ ഗവൺമെന്റിനെ കൊണ്ടിട്ട് പറ്റില്ല. എല്ലാവരുടെയും പുറകിൽ ഓടാൻ പറ്റില്ല. തന്നെത്താനെ ബോധത്തോടെ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ ഡ്രഗ്സ് തന്നെ, which are being sold in many places in different parts of the country, different parts of Kerala. ആ ബോധം ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റൂ. അത് വീട്ടിലുള്ള എങ്ങനെയാണ് കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, സ്കൂളിൽ എങ്ങനെയാ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ എങ്ങനെയാ കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യുന്നത്, എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒരു കോമൺ അപ്രോച്ച് വേണം. The mindset has to be there saying we will do it. We will not allow it to happen. So this depends on leadership of state level or district level. Thank you.
താങ്ക് യു.
ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു സാർ. ജോർജ് സാർ.
താങ്ക് യു സാർ.
Thank you.
കണ്ണൻ സാർ, വളരെ വളരെ സന്തോഷമുള്ള ഒത്തിരി ഇൻഫർമേഷൻസ്, പഴയ കുറെ ഓർമ്മകൾ എനിക്ക് കിട്ടി. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് 90കളുടെ തുടക്കത്തിലൊക്കെ ഈ വർക്കേഴ്സ് എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ ഓർഗനൈസേഷണൽ സെറ്റപ്പിന് ആ ഒരു ഫീൽഡുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കുമ്പോൾ പലപ്പോഴും HR മാനേജേഴ്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ്, HR മാനേജേഴ്സ് തന്നെ വളരെ കുറവാണ് പല ഫാക്ടറികളിലും. മാത്രമല്ല, മാനേജേഴ്സിന്റെ ചിന്ത, അന്നത്തെ മാനേജ്മെന്റ് ചിന്ത തന്നെ ഇത് വേസ്റ്റാണ്, ട്രെയിനിങ് വേസ്റ്റാണ്, വെറുതെ മണി ലോസ് ആണ്, മറ്റേ വർക്കിംഗ് അവേഴ്സ് ലോസ് ആണ് എന്ന്, പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ ലോസ് പ്രൊഡക്ടിവിറ്റി ലോസ്, അവർ കുറെ കണക്കുകളൊക്കെ പറയുമായിരുന്നു. പക്ഷെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് മാറി. സാർ ആദ്യം സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ മോട്ടിവേഷൻ കൊടുത്താലേ ഇനി സ്ഥാപനത്തിന് രക്ഷയുള്ളൂ. അത് ഫിക്സഡ് ക്യാപിറ്റലിന് തുല്യമാണ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞവരെ മാനേജ്മെന്റിൽ ഒരു ചേഞ്ച് വരാനും, പിന്നീട് ഒരു ട്രെൻഡ് വന്നു. ട്രെയിനിങ് ഒരു പോളിസിയാണ്. ട്രെയിനിങ് ഡിപ്പാർട്ട്മെന്റ് വേണം ആനുവൽ ഓഡിറ്റ് റിപ്പോർട്ടിൽ എത്ര ട്രെയിനിങ് നടത്തിയെന്ന് വേണം എന്നൊക്കെ മാനേജ്മെന്റിന്റെ സ്റ്റാറ്റസ് ഒക്കെ കാണിക്കുന്ന വിധത്തിലേക്ക് അത് മാറി. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് വീണ്ടും സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഈ സൈക്കോമെട്രിക് ടെസ്റ്റുകളൊക്കെ റിക്രൂട്ട്മെന്റ് ബോർഡ് വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അവരുടെ ആ ആറ്റിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ടെസ്റ്റ്, അങ്ങനെ പലതും ഒരു മിറാക്കിൾ ചേഞ്ചസ് ആണ്. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് LPG ലിബറലൈസേഷൻ, പ്രൈവറ്റൈസേഷൻ ആൻഡ് ഗ്ലോബലൈസേഷൻ വന്നതിന് ശേഷം അപ്പാടെ ചേഞ്ചസ്, ഭയങ്കരമായ മാറ്റം വന്നു. അത് കുറെ കാലം നേരിട്ട് അനുഭവിക്കാനും അതിൽ ഈ തൊഴിലാളി വിദ്യാഭ്യാസവുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് പ്രവർത്തിക്കാനും എനിക്ക് അവസരം കിട്ടിയതൊക്കെ ഞാനിപ്പോൾ ഓർക്കുന്നു. പിന്നീട് CNS കമൻഡേഷൻ എനിക്ക് കിട്ടി സാറേ. ആ സന്തോഷം കൂടെ അറിയിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ നിർത്തുന്നു. താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച്.
Thank you. Anybody else, Sabu?
Jyotimar sir, please.
Extremely, Kannan sir, extremely sorry. I would like to apply a bail to you because I could not complete your class. An emergency call have come, that is why. But even then, few
Sabu will
words
give the
I would
link.
like to inform you, sir. Because it is in our own platform, no? Then we are so close to us also. That is the confidence I have to join again. Then
Thank you.
this type of classes you have to give, sir, in our political leaders. They have to, because nowadays, no, in the colleges and schools, the marks are given without the quality, or even a child just to repeat the question alone in the paper, he will be getting 20 marks. Then teacher will be giving 20 marks. So everybody will be 99% pass percentage. So the government and the minister is so proud. Okay, then one thing. Then HR, just now our friend, our George sir was telling, human resources development, and for that the training. These people are thinking that these are all waste. So such a leadership we are having, sir. So please, the union leaders, almost all the government officers and the union leaders are controlling everything, and their basic quality is, some of them are masters, but in Malayalam we used to say fourth graduates, sir. Fourth graduates, they don't know how to behave. Just because from my heart I am telling you, don't feel otherwise. Our other members also. Thank you very much. I could
Thank
not
you.
hear you fully. Thank you, sir. Because
Thank
in your class, I used to try to attend. Because I used to tell our Sabu sir, because we are not getting an English class regularly. In the colleges also, we taught English in Malayalam, sir. So these are the opportunity for us to at least to hear the nice language, and your language is excellent. Thank you. And one more thing I would like to ask you, don't feel otherwise, because we are so close, but even then still I don't know, don't feel that your PVSM, Vice Admiral B. Kannan sir, PVSM, what does it mean? Could you tell me?
It is a medal. It's a series of a medal, which starts with the lowest is VSM.
Once more, please.
Vishishta Seva Medal.
It's a series of 3 medals. The lowest is VSM, Vishishta Seva Medal. And then if you continue to do well, then you get Ati Vishish Seva Medal, AVSM.
Oh, good.
And then if you do even till the last day you're working and you're doing well, then you get Param Vishish Seva.
Oh, the Malayalam, exact Malayalam, no?
അതെ.
Paramveer. Yeah, Hindi, not Malayalam, Hindi. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sabu, anybody else?
Oh, thank you, sir. Nothing, sir. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm signing off. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ്. ഗുഡ് നൈറ്റ് സർ.
ജോർജ് സാറേ